Hi, my name is Jennifer, and I've been teaching Pilates for over 10 years and working in the fitness industry for over 20. And I've had clients ask me over the last 2 or 3 years to please make a DVD because when they can't make it to mat class or when they can't make it to my studio, they want to have Pilates to take with them on vacation. The reason for this is that the majority of my client base is over 50 and dealing with pain management. We're going to do my favorite mat exercises that I do because as I've gotten older and as I have injured myself a number of times, my sciatica actually acts up when I'm on long flights or when I have to drive any more than about 3 hours at a time. So I've put together my favorites, and they are very traditional. With that in mind, not every exercise nor every stretch is perfect for everyone. So just make sure you check with the doctor before starting a new exercise program. Okay, let's get started. Moving into the warm-up, you're going to start with 5 different principles: breathing, pelvic placement, rib cage placement, shoulder stabilization and scapular placement, and head and neck placement. To begin the warm-up, you want to start on your back on a flat, stable surface with the knees bent, feet flat, and about sits bones distance apart. Focusing on the breath pattern, you'll breathe in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth as if you're blowing into a balloon or blowing candles out on a birthday cake. With the pelvis neutral, you're going to have space between the low back and the mat. As you exhale, you're going to feel just a slight contraction through the transverse abdominis with that bottom rib drawing down towards that hip bone. So if you place your fingertips on the hips and your thumbs on the bottom rib, as you exhale, that space is not going to change between the low back and the floor or the mat, whatever you happen to be on. If you hyperextend the back, you're going to feel all of the ribs come up off the mat. So as you exhale down, you want to try to get those ribs resting just comfortably. With your arms reaching overhead, you'll take a deep breath in, and as you exhale out, you'll bring those arms down by the sides. Breathing in again, using this next exhale to flatten out the low back without engaging the glutes. So you're just pressing the belly button back towards the spine to create zero space between the low back and your mat. You can go into this position if you start to experience pain in the low back during any of the exercises. Again, returning to neutral, which is the natural curve of the spine. Moving into the breath pattern next, you place your hands on the rib cage, breathing in deeply, expanding through the ribs, visualizing yourself as an accordion. So you expand out with the breath, and as you exhale, everything contracts and drops in and drops down. Again, take a deep breath in, trying not to let the ribs pop open. If they do pop open, you're going to be able to put your fingers underneath the rib cage. So use this exhale to force the fingers out, feel the ribs close in on themselves, and try to maintain that connection throughout all the exercises. Moving on to scapular placement, otherwise known as shoulder blade placement. You'll inhale, float the arms to the ceiling. As you exhale, you want to reach those fingertips up, spreading the shoulder blades apart, and then bring those arms back down. So you can reach the fingertips up, deep breath in. Exhale to flatten those shoulder blades down on the mat. One more time, inhale. As you exhale, just let those shoulder blades drop down, and we're going to go right into scissors. The point of the scissors is to notice that you're not wiggling through the torso. So you're maintaining that connection through the low abdominals the entire time. You're keeping the ribs closed, you're breathing, and you're not getting tight through the neck. Take one more deep breath in, press the shoulder blades down, elbows down, palms down by the sides, and you should feel more open across the collarbone. Going into head and neck placement next. As we inhale, we're going to nod the chin towards the chest. You're going to feel the back of the neck lengthen, and if you place the fist lengthwise between the chin and the collarbone, it should approximately fit. Return your head to where you would normally hold it, and again, inhale, nod the chin. Exhale to peel the head shoulders up off the mat. Place the fist under the chin just to check yourself. Release the hand and release back down. Inhale to nod the chin. Exhale to peel up. Maintain that neutral spine if you can, and release back down. Helping yourself up to a sitting position, we're going to still focus on breathing, but just from a different view. Taking that breath laterally into the ribs, and then exhaling everything draws in and drops down. So you can see how it's almost like a corset tightening around. With the hands on the knees, breathing in without letting the ribs pop, and exhaling, allowing everything to draw in and drop down. Go ahead and sit with your feet flat, head between the knees, rounded spine, relax the neck and the shoulders. Taking a deep breath in this position, you're going to feel the back of the rib cage reach towards that wall behind you. And as you exhale, you'll pull the belly button away from the thighs, creating as much space as possible. Again, just deep breath in, feel the rib cage expand. And as you exhale, slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Head is the last thing to come up. A lot of times we have a tendency to jut the chin forward, creating extra tension in the neck. Try to keep that neck directly over the spine and think about lengthening your neck as if you've got puppet strings on the top of your head, pulling that head up towards the ceiling. It just helps keep the spine straight, it keeps you neutral, and it keeps you in a much better postural awareness. Some common problems with the upper back and shoulders. Sometimes people squeeze their shoulder blades together to overcompensate, while most people actually round their shoulders forward. We really want to find a natural balance between the two, so you engage the mid-traps and you can see the shoulder blades lay flat on the back. That will help keep the tension out of the neck. Next, we're going to do some traditional mat exercises that don't include any equipment. Starting with the knees bent, breathe in. As you exhale out, you're going to peel the hips up off the floor for your hip roll. All the way up onto the shoulders without rolling onto the neck. Breathe in at the top of the movement, and as you exhale, roll down one vertebra at a time, going through imprinted spine and to neutral. Again, inhale, exhale to peel up. Noticing that you're feeling your glutes, your hamstrings, and your low abdominals work. And then as you exhale, you roll back down through the spine. Release, inhale. Exhale, push those feet into the floor. Roll up without letting the knees flare open. Keep the ribs closed. Breathe in at the top, and then exhale as you roll down through the spine. Focusing on articulation through the spine with this exercise, as well as warming up the legs. Really starting to feel a burn through the hamstrings and the glutes, keeping the navel sinking back towards the spine, and keeping the rib cage closed. Inhale. As you exhale, push the low back down, roll up one vertebra at a time, hold at the top, focus on that breath, and exhale to roll down. Allowing the hip flexors to relax at the bottom. Now from this angle, you'll notice that the knees stay pointing straight ahead. They don't flare open to the side, so you've got to press all 10 toes into the floor. And again, inhale. Exhale to press the low back down, rolling up onto the shoulders. Inhale at the top. Exhale, one vertebra at a time as you roll down, scooping through the low abdominals, releasing at the bottom. Inhale, exhale to roll up. Keeping that neck relaxed, keeping the jaw relaxed. Exhale to roll through the spine. Release at the bottom of the movement. Inhale. Exhale to peel up, really push those feet into the floor. Make sure those knees don't waver. Inhale. Exhale to roll all the way down. Last one. Exhale as you roll up. Inhale at the top. And slowly exhale, roll all the way through. Scoop through the low abdominals. And slowly straighten out those legs. Float the arms all the way overhead. Inhale. Take the arms to the ceiling, and as you exhale for the prep, press your low back into the mat. Inhale the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale, head, shoulders roll down. Another prep. Inhale the arms. Exhale, peel the head, shoulders up. The hands hover right by the sides. Inhale the arms back up to the ceiling. Exhale to roll down. You can stay with that, or you can go into the full exercise, which inhale the arms. Exhale, press the low back down, scoop and roll forward without collapsing down onto the thighs. Inhale, start to roll back, open up the front of the hip joint, and exhale, smoothly roll all the way through the spine. Inhale the arms to the ceiling. Exhale, press the low back down, pull the belly button back towards the spine without collapsing onto your thighs. Inhale to send the low back down, roll through the vertebra one at a time, reach those arms overhead. Another option, if you're having difficulty rolling up, you can inhale, grab the thighs with those knees bent just to help yourself up. Slide those legs back out to straight, and then just do the roll down. Focus on the roll down portion. Work your way up to the full exercise. You can also rock yourself up and just start from that position. So you're still rounded forward, send the low back down, open up through the front of the hip joint, exhale, smoothly roll all the way through. Inhale the arms, exhale, scoop and roll. You want to keep it consistent and smooth. Inhale, get that low back down first and then roll all the way out. To make it more difficult, you can place the hands in front of the forehead, doing the same breath pattern, but then inhale to sit up tall, lengthen through the spine, hinge back on your exhale and roll, without funking on the way down. Inhale, tuck the chin, exhale, press that low back down, scoop through the abdominals. Inhale to stack the vertebra, sit up tall. Exhale, hinge at the hips, and then roll through the spine all the way down. Go ahead and use your roll-up to come to a sitting position. We're going to start with the legs crossed. Right up on top of those sits bones, arms out to the sides for spine twist. Inhale, exhale, twist to the right for 3 times. Come back to the center and twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist, 2, 3, and center. You can bend that elbow if you'd like, and center. So the goal here is just rotating that rib cage on top of the pelvis. You're going to feel the work right under the shoulder blades across the mid-back. You can also take those legs out long if you'd like. Makes the exercise a little more difficult. Inhale, lengthen up, and as you exhale, you twist 3 times. And it's not a bounce, it's a twist. You twist a little further, you twist a little further, and back to the center. It's almost like you're a wash rag and you're trying to wring water out of it, and that's what you want to visualize your torso being. So that belly button constantly pulls back towards the spine. Same thing, you can bend that elbow if you'd like. Inhale, exhale, twist, 2, 3, inhale, center, lower those arms. Rolling like a ball, just to massage out the spine. Hover those feet off the floor, roll onto your back. Try to find your balance when you roll up. You initiate the roll by sending the low back down. The head never hits the floor, and to make it more difficult, you can place the elbows on the outside of the knees. Makes it a little more difficult to find your balance at the end. If those toes touch down, just quickly lift them right back up. And then for you advanced folks, let's go into open leg rocker. The legs are straight, you roll back onto the shoulders, come right back up, try to find your balance, sink through the low abdominals, and then roll back again. Just make sure you don't immediately roll back. You want to find that balance. Use those low abdominals for control. Inhale to roll back, exhale to roll up. Keeping those legs long and strong, roll back, exhale to come up, find your balance. One more time, inhale, exhale up, and then bend the knees, grabbing behind the thighs, rolling down onto your low back with the shoulders off the mat for tabletop series. Single leg stretch, the hands hover by the sides. Inhale and exhale. Reaching the legs long, you have deliberate intention. Same hand can touch the outside of the ankle, opposite hand grabs the inside of the knee. You can also just keep those hands hovering right by the sides. Breathe in and out. Really lengthen the leg, keep the belly button pulling back towards the spine. Make sure those shoulder blades stay off the mat. Crisscross with the hands behind the head for bicycle. Opposite armpit towards the knee, elbow towards the ceiling. You're still lengthening out those legs. You're trying not to let the shoulder blades touch down. You're trying not to grip the head. You're still staying relaxed through the neck. Belly button sinks back towards the spine. Everything with deliberate motion. The intention is there. Lengthen out those legs. right back into your tabletop for double leg stretch. Inhale to lengthen those legs and arms and sweep it around. So those arms reach overhead, the head shoulders don't drop down. The legs lengthen out, the low back never leaves the mat. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, sweep. Inhale, reach, exhale, bend. Lengthen and sweep. Inhale and exhale. And then right into scissors. Little pulse, pulse, inhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale to change the legs. Exhale for the little pulse, pulse. It's not a yank, yank. It's a little pulse. Think about lifting the upper body to meet the thigh rather than pulling the leg down to meet the body. Exhale and exhale. Quick inhale, exhale. Those feet are pointed. Those legs are long. Those abdominals are on fire. Knees back to the center. Try to lift the shoulders up higher and then release down. Taking a little break. You want to reach the arms overhead, lengthen the legs out. Just breathe in deeply to stretch out the abdominals. Helping yourself up, turning over onto the stomach, we'll open up the other direction, starting with the legs slightly apart, laterally rotated, forearms on the mat. You extend your upper back and lower down. Inhale to extend the upper back. Try to keep that head in alignment with the spine. So that means you don't need to look up. Inhale, extend. Exhale to lower. Reaching the arms out in front of you for swimming. Starting with one arm and one leg in opposition, slow and controlled. And then you can start picking up the pace, breathing in and exhaling out. So you're working through the glutes, not the low back. The abdominals are tight. Just really fire through those glutes. Release down. Sit back on the heels for another quick stretch. From this position, you can focus on your breath pattern again, breathing in to expand through the rib cage. Exhale out, scoop through the low abdominals, and just enjoy that stretch. Coming into a plank position on the forearms and the toes. Hugging the inner thighs together, hugging the feet together. Pull the head back as if you've got a headrest behind you, and you're slowly going to drop one knee and then the other knee down. Nothing moves but the knees. You should feel no strain through the low back.